what should I drink as a new whiskey drinker? Like, I'm just beginning my whiskey journey. What are some great starts? How should I actually start to drink? I'm going to attack this by not suggesting whiskey bottles. I'm going to say, here's kind of the progression that I work, and a lot of people I know that drink whiskey, this is kind of their progressions at first. First, we're going to start with cocktails. What are cocktails? Cocktails are bringing multiple flavors together with whiskey and creating a drink. A lot of times with cocktails, whiskey can actually take a back seat to the flavors that are inside the cocktail. So it's a great way for people that maybe don't like the taste of whiskey right out the gate to kind of mask and hide some of that. So I would say cocktails are a really good way to start. When I think of cocktails, I think of Old Fashions, Manhattan, Sazeracs. If you go to my TikTok page, every Friday I drop a new cocktail. I just did a Old Fashioned bread pudding. The Shadow Woman was really good. So there's a lot of actual cocktails where you can either push the whiskey forward or bring it back. So cocktails are really good. The next piece, I would say, once you start thinking, okay, cocktails are fun, but I'd like to learn more about whiskey, and maybe we move into more of a mixed drink. By a mixed drink, usually it's whiskey with something, maybe whiskey with tonic water, whiskey with ginger ale, whiskey with, lime, things along that line. So the beauty of the mix is you can control the ratio of whiskey to your actually mixer. So as you get more and more, as you find whiskey more and more enjoyable, you'll start pulling that mixer back, right? So maybe in the beginning it's 75% ginger ale, 25% whiskey, then maybe we go 50-50, and then maybe we go 25% ginger ale, 75% whiskey, and then maybe one day we go 100% whiskey and just save the ginger ale for another day. So I think having that mix really gives you a lot of flexibility and to be able to bring the whiskey more forward. And again, the mixer, you can keep adjusting that to what your flavor profile is. And then I think you move into more of an iced, right? So putting your whiskey on ice, what does that do? One is it cools the whiskey, makes it a little more enjoyable, but it also, water will start to dilute the whiskey, will start to proof it down, and for some that'll make whiskey drinking more enjoyable. So I think you could go into mix, and then you can go into iced, and then I think you hit the pinnacle of whiskiness, which is drinking it neat. So anytime that you hear a person says, I'm drinking my whiskey neat, that just means glass, whiskey poured in room temperature, enjoy. And again, I would say that was my progression. I started with the sidecar, a whiskey sidecar, and that kind of moved into, I didn't do a lot of mixed. I did maybe a couple whiskey highballs or, whiskey tonics, something like that. But then I kind of just moved right into whiskey with a little bit of ice, and then I went into whiskey neat. So again, that was my progression, and a lot of people I talk to like that same progression. Again, the beauty of those 4 steps, it gives you the ability to move it in. How much ice do I want to use? How much mixer do I want to use? How prominent do I want my cocktail to shine the light on the whiskey, or do I want it more in the back? But again, once it goes neat, it's there to stay.